Hey everyone, how's it going? I'm back. So guys, today we are talking about Mortal Kombat 2021. This is one of the most highly anticipated films of the year. I finally got to see it, and I just want to talk to you about what I liked, what I didn't like, where I fall somewhere in the middle, and just in the end get your overall opinions on what you thought of the film. And guys, as always, please remember to hit that like and subscribe button down below. Very much appreciate it. So let's get into the review. So Mortal Kombat 2021 tells the story of Cole Young, an MMA fighter who's been chosen to compete in an ancient tournament known as Mortal Kombat. And along for the ride with him are the other champions who have been chosen. This includes characters like Jax, Sonya Blade, Kano, Liu Kang, Kung Lao, and they all join forces with Lord Raiden to fight the evil sorcerer Shang Tsung and his champions for the future of Earth. So one element that I really liked about this movie right off the bat is the tone. I think the filmmakers and the writer really did a great job of just capturing the essence of Mortal Kombat. And I was impressed with how they really weren't afraid to hold back on just giving us what I think we all really want in terms of a Mortal Kombat movie, which is bloody, gory, over-the-top violence. To see that, come to life on the big screen is just, it's amazing for someone like me and other people who love these games and these movies. Another element that I really liked, the performances and the characters. Not every performance and every character I thought was perfect, but there were definitely some standouts, and I just want to highlight those for a second. And those three performances that I want to talk about in particular are Kano, Scorpion, and Sub-Zero. Josh Lawson plays Kano, and Kano is just a mercenary. He's a thug, a brute, a murderer. Lawson plays the character perfectly. I mean, he is funny when he needs to be. He's intimidating when he needs to be. And I was just impressed by how much I was enjoying him on screen. In my opinion, he probably is the best performance of the entire movie. It is just that good. Hiroyuki Sanada and Joe Taslim as Scorpion and Sub-Zero. These are two other performances that I thought were huge standouts compared to the rest of the cast. I just thought both actors did a wonderful job of capturing the essence of these characters and bringing them to life, and giving us a cool backstory with the two, because whenever these two are on screen together, that's where I find myself being a little intrigued by the storyline. These two characters, have a long and troubled history, and when they're on screen together, you feel the dramatic punch. And whenever they fight one another, those are some of the best fight sequences of the entire movie. So yeah, those three, my top favorite performances of this entire movie. And as for the rest of the cast, I think everyone does a good job, but a lot of the other characters are not as interesting as the three I just mentioned. Sonya and Jax have great chemistry together. I get a sense that they fought together, that they have been friends for a long time. And you know what, for me with these two, that's kind of all you had to do with them. Yeah, I want to hear more about their backstory, but for now I was just happy where I cared enough about these two when they were on screen together. So I was okay with that. The performance, though, in terms of the protagonist that I really don't love, sadly, one, Liu Kang, and Kung Lao. I think they were casted perfectly, and I like these actors very much, but their characters don't really have much of anything to do except kind of be the exposition dump. You need to do this in order to do this. We need to take you to Raiden, and Raiden is this, and he has done this for us, and that's kind of all they're there for. And sadly, that goes the same for our main character, Cole Young. Cole is a character made up for this movie, which is fine, because Mortal Kombat is famous for making up new characters like with every other game. But this character is just not interesting enough. He is your basic, generic, good guy. Oh, I was a fighter and I don't do that anymore. It's that kind of character. Like he's being thrown back into something that he doesn't want to be a part of anymore, and has to fight his way through in order to learn more about himself and what's important to him and all of that kind of stuff. It's something we've seen before, and I don't mind seeing that storyline now and again, but you got to do it well. And here I just don't think they did it as well as they could have. So like I said, not every other performance in this movie is like really bad. It's just I feel like they don't have moments to have these characters shine because there's so many of them, and this movie is under 2 hours. Another element of this movie that I love is the set design. I think the designers did a wonderful job bringing these kinds of locations to life and making them feel just so different from one another. My two favorite locations where characters fight in this movie is definitely the beginning, which takes place in Japan, and the final sequence in the gym where Cole works as an MMA fighter, and how Sub-Zero has just frozen it all over. I thought those two designs, locations, were handled very, very well. But every other location has its own unique design, and it reminds me very much of the video game. And I was just impressed by the filmmakers' commitment to that, and overall their commitment to just doing what they could do to bring this video game to life again, but in a way where the fans were going to be very satisfied. I also love just the fighting sequences themselves, especially when we have moments of fatalities. The fatalities in this movie are fantastic. They're gory, they're jaw-dropping, which is what I think you want it to be. My two favorite fights, again, like the settings, locations, were the first fight of the movie and the last fight. And the reason being is because, and this is kind of getting into a negative that I have with this movie, is I think a lot of these fight sequences, while they're good, the editing is very quick cut. And if you don't know what that means, I mean that the film's action sequences are chopped together where they got a lot of coverage and they're trying to make the fight look more intimidating than it is. And sometimes directors, editors feel the answer to that is quick cut, quick cut, quick cut, quick cut, to the point where the fight doesn't become that interesting. But fight sequences like the first 10 minutes or the final fight sequence of this movie, those are the moments where I think the choreography and the style really shines, because they're letting the action be shown. They're not quick cutting all the time. They're letting the camera linger on the characters fighting one another so that you can feel the impact. So guys, those are my positives. I think let's just dive right into the negatives. And my first negative element that I don't love about this movie is the story, the script. It's very generic. The dialogue is not that great in this. There are moments where I like what a character says, or characters have moments where I'm intrigued by this monologue they have, but I just don't think there are enough of those moments to make me care that much about what the characters are saying or where the story is taking us. I enjoy it for what it is, and I think the screenwriter definitely captured the essence of Mortal Kombat with his script. I just think it needed to be a bit more polished. Another element that I don't love about this movie is this is Mortal Kombat, so I expect there to be tournaments. What we get is great enough, but again, they keep mentioning the tournament, and the whole movie I was like, ooh, I can't wait, but the tournament never really happened. So hopefully in the next movie we get a tournament. That's all I'm asking for. Whenever the characters were fighting one another, I didn't feel like anyone was getting hurt, except for when the fatalities happened. This goes back to like the stakes. The stakes at some of these moments just didn't feel high enough. I feel like if we had seen these characters like bruise up or get cut up or start bleeding, because of the heat their bodies are taking, I think it would just up the stakes for me, and I really would have been more invested with a lot of these action sequences. I think the MMA fight in the beginning of the movie captures that very well. The first fight at the beginning of the film too, before that one, captures that also. But other than that, you don't really get a sense of that throughout the other fights in this movie. One last element of this movie that I didn't love, and it's more of a nitpick if anything, is the character of Shang Tsung. In this movie, he's played by Chin Han, and in the 1995 film, he's played by Cary Hiroyuki Tagawa. Tagawa has the better performance over Chin Han, because when you watch him in the 1995 film, he is enjoying every second he's on screen. He is menacing, he's chewing the scenery, but he's just having a blast.
Your soul is mine. fatality.
And you don't get that from Chin Han in this. And they're going for a more serious tone, which is fine. But if you're going to do that, then I want to be scared of Shang Tsung. I want to, feel his sorcery unfold and just have it, make me feel like I'm going to my pants, because I didn't get anything like that. Whereas Tagawa, I get a sense that this guy is all powerful. He's totally evil. He's a complete sorcerer. And he's not afraid to kill anyone who gets in his path. Here with Chin Han's performance, it's still good, but it could have been better. And I hope the writers and the filmmakers really work on that in the next movie. So guys, that's my review for Mortal Kombat 2021. This was a fun, action-packed film with some really good characters, some great locations, great effects and fighting sequences. And yeah, maybe some characters that need some more work, some story elements that need a little more work. But other than that, I thought this movie was handled very, very well. And I'm impressed by the filmmakers and the writer for just giving us an adaptation that I think was worth the wait. Everyone who worked on this movie, cared about the content they were adapting. And I can't wait to see the next installment to this. And with that, everyone, I am giving Mortal Kombat 2021 a 7 out of 10. So guys, once again, that is my review for Mortal Kombat 2021. I hope you enjoyed it. Please remember to hit that like and subscribe button down below. Very much appreciate it. And guys, we'll see you in the next video. Thanks very much.